Hi. So I just want to do a quick summary of the tools that we've given you of resilience so far. So we've definitely looked at a bit of a cycle of stabilize, adapt, and then get moving or innovate. And so with stabilization, we've given you a lot of tools about that. Those really health and horror based, well-being based, sleep, nutrition, whānau, social relationships, exercise, and those are amazing tools. Then we looked a little bit at circles of control and at adapting and asking yourself the question, what can I do something about? And creative ways of doing that, and then the skill of identifying when you've got your head in, focusing on the things you can't control, and moving that to focusing on the ways you've decided to do the things you can do something about. Then I talked a little bit about innovation and about getting moving, and we looked at the stuff up cascade and how can I make my situation, utterly worse, because doing the opposite to that is usually quite helpful. Today, I just want to talk about the people that we see that really thrive in adversity, see opportunity, and it nearly always is. Challenge is nearly always also an opportunity, and it doesn't mean that it isn't difficult, and it doesn't mean that we always feel like we're thriving. But the people that we see come out of huge periods of stress stronger and better and emerge stronger are the people that decide to innovate. And so today's task and challenge is this: ask yourself the question, how do I want to come out of this? How do I make 2020 my best year at Hill Morton, not just despite the challenges that we've had, but maybe because of them. And what I would say is you can just review some of the tools that we've given you. So there's nothing wrong with having a look back at the circles of control task that we had before. What can you do, and or at the stuff up cascade, and then with the stuff up cascade, maybe heading down into this column here and looking at, what are the things I do most often and what are good strategies to avoid those. But what I would say is ask yourself, where are my opportunities to get stronger? And it might be that you feel like you've lost time and your workload or your teaching is behind. But what I would say to that perhaps is, whilst there are things you might have identified you can do to address that anyway, and that will all be working to make sure that you're not disadvantaged, and if you've the right mindset that you don't become separated from your peers by this phase, is where are your opportunities for growth then? Because we've had a chance to do some things. For example, time planning. Could you become a better student by continuing using those blank time planners and planning? You've just had a huge experience of how to manage your time, and it's something that we all keep getting better at as we get older, hopefully. It is that self-management of our time, and you've just had a 7-week phase of having to do that. Well, can you then, is this now your lever to say, well, I'm going to take that phase of time that we could, we didn't choose and we could look at as a disadvantage, and I'm going to say, well, actually I can come out stronger as a student because I'm a better time planner, and I can continue that practice. Or I learned some things. Maybe you can say, well, had some time with the family, and I really enjoyed talking with mum about this, or with granddad about that, or learning that from them. And does that have to stop? Like, is this this is an amazing chance to take the things that we've learned that work better and bring them into the rest of our life. This is they call this the new normal, and what I think about that is let's not look to stay where we were. Let's not look to go back. And whilst we're returning to school, we're returning on to school. Can you take more advantage of the opportunity to ask your teacher verbal questions? Is it a better way of working that you can give them feedback on certain resources. And so get innovating, be one of those people, or practice being one of those people that comes out of this stronger and brings all the best things, because there were some great things, there are some great things, and bring those into a new way of being. And that is how you see the people that are the best at resilience is to use challenge to their advantage. So that's my challenge to you today, is have a look at the things that you've learned from this period and capitalise them, bring them in to make them a habit. It takes 5 weeks to make something a habit. Practice and enjoy.